What's up, mortals? It is Sunset here with a new video for you. Welcome to Season 1, Part 5 of What If Deku Had a Sentient Quirk? I just wanted to greet you guys by just saying, sit back and relax. You're in for a treat. So we begin. For Izuku, time had passed rather slowly. Each day, hour, minute, and even second felt like an eternity. Though the test results would take time, 2 weeks without hearing anything was bothersome. Izuku, sweetie, dinner is ready. Inko was rather worried for Izuku. His usual eccentric demeanor had shifted to that of one filled with thoughtfulness and quietness. The juniper-haired boy walked out from his room to the dining room, sitting down as the two started eating in silence. As the seconds passed, Inko looked at Izuku. The boy ate small bites of his food, even more unusual for him. The woman looked down. She spoke up. Izuku, is everything all right? Izuku looked up to his mom, a little startled by what his mother had asked. The boy had rubbed the back of his neck while sighing. Sorry, Mom. I'm just really anxious about the letter from UA. Inko looked lovingly at Izuku, placing her hand on his while speaking. Izuku, I'm sure you did wonderful on the test. I know you'll get in. Izuku smiled, thanking his mom while laughing. After eating, Izuku went back up to his room. He opened up one of his many hero analysis notebooks. Izuku sat at the desk in his room reading through the notebook chapters. Don't worry, Izuku. Izuku looked at his stomach, a green orb floating above his stomach. The orb was Rabbit Hole, and Izuku simply sighed while smiling. Thanks, Rabbit Hole. You're right. The orb seemed to let out a laugh. Izuku was glad he didn't affect Rabbit Hole's mood. The two chatted into the night, as it soon turned into day. Izuku woke up. He yawned as he scratched his head. Geez, I was up for a little too long talking with Rabbit Hole and fell asleep. Izuku decided that he would need to get up and get ready. He couldn't stay home sulking like this. After putting on a sleeveless shirt and shorts, the juniper-haired boy said goodbye to his mother, his warm and shining smile making Inko feel complete. Izuku simply went for a jog, running around the city to get a clear mind. Izuku had been jogging for an hour. Quite tired, the boy had sat in the park. Taking a break, the boy was able to catch his breath, not expecting to hear a familiar voice. Usagi, where the hell have you been? Bakugou walked towards the boy. It seemed he had been doing his own kind of training as well. He stood in front of Izuku, a little too worried, though he would never show that. Looking down, Izuku spoke. Hey, Kachan! Sorry, I've been tired for a while, so The juniper-haired boy would barely finish his sentence before being hit on the head. A chop delivered by Bakugou was the cause. Don't lie, nerd. You always avert your eyes when you do. Though Izuku didn't want to tell Bakugou he was simply down in the dumps, there was no way to avoid it. Izuku began to explain his predicament. You were basically gone because you were scared of failing the test? Izuku simply nodded while Bakugou just groaned while shaking his head. Izuku could tell he was gonna be hit again. He braced for impact, expecting another chop to the head, but instead, he felt a nudge to his shoulder. Bakugou had sat next to the juniper-haired boy, looking at the ground. You really scared me, nerd. I thought something happened to you. Izuku's eyes widened, not only from shock, but from the genuine worry that he hurt his friend, his best friend. Bakugou looked at Izuku as he felt something wrap around him, holding him tight. Izuku hugged Bakugou while profusely apologizing. I'm sorry, Kachan. I didn't mean to make you worry. Please forgive me. Bakugou put his hand to Izuku's face, pushing him away from him. He yelled at Izuku for being embarrassing and to not hug him out of the blue like that. Well, anyway, Kachan, have you gotten your letter yet? Bakugou simply shook his head. They both wondered why it was taking a long time, though they came to an agreement that there were a bunch of students, so it's likely a lot of work to go through them all. Come on, Usagi, let's get something to eat. Getting up, Bakugou walked towards the exit of the park, Izuku following behind as they both seemed to smile. Throughout the day, the two simply talked about their day, as well as the exam, though the two seemed to avoid the topic of Mr. Tsukauchi, after which the two decided to head home. Izuku said his goodbye to Bakugou, heading inside his house. He was welcomed by his mother, who seemed to be excited about something. Izuku, it came! Inko hurriedly ran towards Izuku, carrying an envelope. Izuku's eyes widened as he looked at Inko, who handed him the envelope. He seemed a little anxious as he held the envelope, walking to his room. Inko followed him sneakily, though not the best in their small apartment. Izuku sat in his room, holding the envelope, sweat dripping down his cheek as he tore open the top of the envelope. Noticing a disc inside, he took it out, inspecting the object. A flash of light shining on his eyes. Izuku winced as he dropped the disc, rubbing his eyes as he opened them to see a hulking figure on a hologram. Gasping, Izuku said, "No way! All Might?"
Yes, I am here! As a pre-recorded message.
Though Izuku was a little bummed this was only a hologram of All Might, it was still quite inspiring to see the #1 hero.
Yes, young Midoriya. During the written portion of the exam, you passed with flying colors.
Getting praise from All Might helped Izuku calm himself, but he continued to listen, wondering why All Might was even on the hologram. This video is sponsored by NordVPN. Staying safe online is an ever-growing difficulty, and hackers could exploit you. NordVPN allows you to change your IP address, making you harder to track, securing your privacy. In addition to providing you with safe passage through the web, you can also expand the reach of your favorite streaming services. Are you tired of going through 2, 3, or even 4 streaming services to watch your favorite anime? Well, with NordVPN, you can change your country and be able to binge shows like My Hero Academia, Naruto, and many others on your favorite streaming service with just a press of a button. Check out the link in the description to get 72% off when buying for 2 years for $3.29 a month. This deal is for a limited time. And thank you to NordVPN for sponsoring this video.
Now, I'm sure you're wondering why I'm here, and the answer to that is, I will be teaching at UA this coming semester.
Izuku's eyes lit up as if he received a present he's always wanted. The boy muttered to himself. I can't believe it. All my teaching at UA? It's like I was blessed! But wait, what kind of class will he be teaching? Will he even teach the first years? Izuku would be brought back by All Might's voice suddenly speaking.
Young Midoriya, in the practical exam you showed many heroic traits such as courage, determination, skill, and the willingness to help others. You have what it takes to be a true hero.
Izuku could hardly believe what he was hearing. Not only was his idol praising him, but he said that he undoubtedly could be a hero.
In your final test, you racked up a total of 52 villain points. But that's not all.
Izuku raised an eyebrow as All Might continued to speak. He explained that there was a secret to the test. There was another point system added.
The system was added to show the true makings of a hero, rescue points. Thanks to your bravery and ability to work well with others, you have been scored 20 rescue points.
All Might stepped to the side, holding a remote. He pressed a button that turned on the TV behind him. It showed the ranks of the top 10 students of the practical exam. As Izuku looked at each name, he saw in 4th place was his name. All Might continued to speak while Izuku felt a little proud in the place he got, his eyes tearing up.
Izuku Midoriya, you passed the practical exam with 72 points in total. Welcome, young man.
Izuku began to shed tears as he smiled. All Might's hand reached out to him. With a smile on his face, he simply said, "Thank you!" The disc shut off, the hologram fading, wiping his tears away while clutching his fists. Yeah, this is just the start. I have to get better. Kachan was much higher than me. Izuku realized that he would have to do better to catch up. The next few days were filled with Izuku getting ready for his first day of high school, putting in his idea for his hero costume, getting his supplies for school, and just training Rabbit Hole. Or, to be more precise, the time limit he had to keep Rabbit Hole out, which was about 25 minutes. The day soon came. Izuku woke up. He went to sleep quick, not wanting to be tired on his first day. Izuku got ready. Inko had been up making breakfast. Izuku smiled as he and his mom ate before Izuku made his way to school. Izuku put his shoes on, his mom wishing him a good day at school. Izuku simply chuckled, reassuring Inko that he would have a great day. The second Izuku stepped onto the street, he felt empowered. He was actually going to UA! A part of the hero course, nonetheless. The juniper-haired boy wasted no time, dashing off towards UA. Izuku stopped at the gates of UA, admiring the sight, though he had seen it before. He wanted an even better look now, jumping as he heard a voice behind him.
Are you going in or not, Usagi?
Bakugou walked towards the gates of UA, walking past Izuku. Izuku sighed as he wanted to stare at the building a little longer, rushing to Bakugou, who was already walking in the building. As the two walked through the halls, they saw many different students.
I still can't believe I'm here in the UA, or that All Might is gonna teach us.
Izuku skipped through the halls while Bakugou just scoffed, their personality on full display. The two stood in front of their classroom door, the huge size a bit overwhelming. Bakugou, ignoring that feeling, walked in. Only a few students were present at the moment. Bakugou sat at a desk, putting his legs up, while a familiar face walked up to him, lecturing him about his actions.
Excuse me, you can't put your feet up on a desk like that.
His posture was quite stiff, and he spoke as if he were a historian. Bakugou snickered, rolling his eyes.
So what? You gotta stick up your ass or something?
Izuku sighed, watching the scene unfold as the two went back and forth. He took a step forward, but stopped as he felt something tap his shoulder. Izuku turned around, seeing a brown-haired girl with a familiar face. Her face lit up as she saw Izuku. I knew it! I couldn't forget that plain face! You're the guy that saved me in the practical exam! Izuku remembered the girl as he blushed, the girl profusely thanking him, while he tried to calm her down. After the two walked into the classroom, a few others walked into the class. Everyone was there, except the teacher. Everyone was either talking, on their own, or focusing on something. Izuku noticed a yellow sleeping bag. A man laid inside the bag. As he got out of the bag, more and more students noticed him. He held a drink as he began to sip it, looking at the students.
It took you all 8 seconds to quiet down. This'll be some work.
All the students looked around, either confused or weirded out. The man took a uniform out of his sleeping bag and held it up for the students to see.
Put this on and then head outside.
Though many of the students were still confused, they all took a uniform and went towards the changing room. Izuku had changed at a much slower rate than everyone. He was deep in thought.
That man, I'm not sure why, but he seems familiar.
As Izuku continued to ponder to himself, he felt something hit his back.
Come on, nerd, or you'll be left behind.
Bakugou watched as Izuku continued to change, simply sighing at that damn nerd. He walked out of the changing room, with Izuku rushing out of the room after him. Thank you all for indulging yourselves in all this information thus far. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, there are a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, I'd like to thank our patrons. BD Flames, Ethan Davis, Terry Chills, Shifter Meals, Adam Zagel, ZavBeto3, Zill, and Joshua Phelps. Secondly, I'd also like to thank all of our YouTube members. Toy Acosta, Rob the King, Sith Lord 906, CF2364 and Knuckles, Remue Tempest, Angel Juarez, Donald C. Stewart, Bryant Grier, and Refeek 135. Thirdly, if you're in the mood for some great storytelling, We the Celestials has you covered. Our We the Celestials, My Hero Academia, and Naruto What If channels retell the story of their namesake anime with a twist. Check it out if you're interested. Fourthly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in today's excellent content production. Their details can be found in the description below. Lastly, if you're interested in what we do here at We the Celestials, I'd like to extend an invitation to join the team. The only caveat is that we only accept members from 16 years old to join our crew. You can sign up for whichever category fulfills your interest by joining the recruitment Discord using the link in the description below. We're always looking for new members to join us. Well, that's it from us for today's video. So thank you all for watching and have a great day!